to week 2, day 4 of the SPL. We've got 4 more games to bring you today. Myself, Hinderman, alongside me, Kevin and Janus, will be bringing the first game's action.
Yep, first up we do have London Conspiracy versus Paradigm 2, and this is Paradigm. Last split started off very weak, going 1-4. Ran the gauntlet though, and made it to the summer finals, placing second. This time they started off much the same. 0-2, losing it to Epsilon last week.
They lost to Epsilon, but they'll feel better about that because Fnatic did lose to those yesterday
Yes.
as well. Coming into this one, though, they're against London Conspiracy. And London Conspiracy, well, they went 2-0. They last time they faced, Paradigm won this 2-0 quite, effectively. Lobster and Zalia both went off really, really well that time.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, that Zalia versus Zashu matchup. Zashu, for those who may not know this name, may recognize him better as Steefy Beefy, joined this roster in replace of Snakeskin. And Asagi Sandal coming really back into the game. He took a long break, replacing Suntouch, and so far done a phenomenal job.
Yeah, so far they've done okay for themselves, but they're up against Paradigm today. They didn't have a great week against Epsilon previously, but this week they've got an opportunity to show off their skills once more. And the big key is, like you said, Soggy Sandal and Steefy Beefy, now known as Zashu, up against Cuvo and Zalia.
And really, a lot of Paradigm success, I think, comes down to Cuvo. You can always expect Lobster to go even. Like, Lobster is that guy who he's never really going to go off. Occasionally he does, but he won't lose lane. Lobster will always be even and always be that, true mid that transitions very well through all points of the game.
I mean, we say they didn't go off they don't go off very often, Lobster, but when you actually look at what happened the last time these two met, Zalia and Lobster only died once in 2 games, both of them. Into picks and bans, though, and Paradigm will be first pick.
Paradigm at the summer finals, they really valued that Bellona first pick, and I expect them to do the same. The thing here is London Conspiracy going to ban it away?
Well, last time these faced as well, Ares and Ymir were banned out by Paradigm against London Conspiracy. They don't want to give anything over to Emilzy to try and carry from the support role. We saw that last week from him when his Ares played very, very well. In response, though, London Conspiracy, I expect to see them take out the big junglers.
Yeah, they're going to take away Ao Kwang, first of all, and that's no surprise here. And you said the big junglers. We could see the Fenrir taken out.
To be fair, they banned out Janus and they banned out Kabrakan last time. Cuvo was big on Kabrakan
yes.
then. Ao Kwang big in the meta. Now, there's the Ymir Ares ban that you kind of expected Paradigm to rinse repeat again.
I don't think London Conspiracy is going to be taking away Kabrakan, though, and it's going to be a Serket, and that's no surprise. The past couple weeks, we've really seen the rise of Serket back into her old form when she was first released into the competitive scene. She died out. Players figured out how to counter her. She took a couple nerfs, but it's not going to be a first-pick Bellona, which I kind of expected. It's going to be Isis going to Lobster.
Well, like you were saying, Bellona was played by Trixtank a lot during the support role. At the LAN, but we've not really seen it that much since.
Yeah, I like this. I feel like this is a bigger takeaway from Arrow than it is a gain for Lobster.
Well, they're going to lock in Freya for London Conspiracy. More than likely going to go up to Shaggy Shank there.
Or excuse me, wrong team.
Shaggy
wrong
Shank.
team, Shaggy Shank.
They'll go into Shaggy Shank, but we might see that Bellona now that you're talking about if London Conspiracy don't pick it, because Disarm, very effective against Freya.
It's going to be Sylvanus, though, so that's going to be going on to Emilzy, and Emilzy really... there's a couple teams. Every time I think about Denial and London Conspiracy, I just feel like it's the same. I always say on Denial, Shadow Q, he's the one who seems to control the pace of the game. Everyone else just follows suits. And on London Conspiracy, I feel like it's the same thing. Emilzy is controlling the pace of the game.
He is, and he's had to step up, especially with Suntouch moving to the wayside. There is that Bellona that could be for the support. Potentially good.
They say they pick it for flex, though. They're not dedicated for it to go to support. It just always happens to work that way because they get picks they want elsewhere.
Well, Freya and Sylvanus in lane together. Together, they managed to combine and clear the wave out effectively. The AoE damage from Sylvanus and the AoE from Freya early on means they can clear effectively. But if they put Bellona there, the disarm is effective. That's a Janus for solo, I believe. We may see Zalia playing that solo.
Really? I mean, where else is it going to go?
Would you expect Isis solo? I don't expect an Isis solo. I would see a Janus solo back from the days of Devios doing it when people realized how effective it was.
Agni going to be locked in for Arrow in the mid lane. That's always a safe god to go to.
Against an Isis, definitely a safe god to go to.
A lot of magical damage coming up from London Conspiracy already. They're probably going to have to bulk up and look for some frontliners here in the last half of their draft.
Really good point. I mean, they're going to have to find 2 physicals out of the last 2 picks here. And if Paradigm are aware of that, they should be looking to ban out a physical god here for sure. Jungle is still going to be wanted from them. Maybe look to take away Hombats here potentially.
I would actually really like to see Fenrir banned away from Soggy Sandal.
Good call. Yeah, because Soggy Sandal's Fenrir last time round was
and Fenrir also transitions very well into the late game to being a frontline carry, but
Sun
it's going to
Wukong.
be Sun Wukong taken away from Zashu.
Big
And that's a
shout.
smart pick, too, because, Zashu, very effective on it the past couple games he's had.
Well, I think if that Janus is going to be played by Xaylia this game, I suspect that they don't want to have someone like Sun Wukong, who's very difficult to kill, honestly, to have to go up in that matchup. The Fenrir will get through and locked in by Conspiracy.
Conspiracies, or Paradigm's obviously not very scared of this pick into the Isis. Isis is very hard to gank in the mid lane, and what Fenrir excels at is ganking. As soon as Lobster's able to get beads online, Soggy Sandal's not really going to be able to put a lot of pressure on him. Late game, it's a different story when he can dive him after he baits out the Dispel Magic and the Spirit Ball, but early game, it should go to Lobster.
Well, we'll find out exactly what this last pick's going to be for Paradigm, because it could be a support. A lot of Conspiracy expected it to be. They banned out Geb in the counterban phase, and it's going to be a Thor jungle, so that is a Bellona support up against Freya and Sylvanus.
Yeah, and that's a great look. The disarm, you were talking about it earlier, going to be so powerful against Freya, whose clear is completely reliant on her pulse early game. She's not going to be able to walk up to the wave and just auto-attack him in melee range.
Same with Sylvanus. He's not got to walk up and clear the wave. Anhur, though, very good at clearing the wave out with that Impale. Chang'e will be the final lock-in. This is a heavy magical team from London Conspiracy,
Very heavy magical team.
Only relying on Soggy Sandal for physical damage here. If Soggy Sandal gets shut down early, this could cause issues.
Yeah, likely we're going to see Thor tank up into... We're going to see a lot of magical defense items, probably a Void Stone picked up by either Janus or Isis here pretty early on, likely to be after their boots, after their core damage item after that. It'll be going on to the Void Stone. Very effective against this team comp that London Conspiracy has drafted.
Into game we go straight away, following it along with a Milsey. As you can see now, Paradigm, Xaylia starting... Actually, Xaylia is playing Isis in the solo.
Okay, so this is a bit of a switch up, and he's gone Purple Pot as well. I think Lobster... Did he start Purple Pot too? No, he doesn't.
Do you reckon the black plan was to put Janus in the solo lane, but when they saw it was going to be a Chang'e, they chose Isis instead?
Maybe. It may be that matchup that they just prefer.
Well, beginning of this game, we are in, and you can see where the buffs have began over on the left-hand side, the three-man Reds. But on the other side, it's the Paradigm start. It was named after them because they were the first ones to do it. Starting on the right-hand side, Isis is over there with Janus to clear out that speed buff.
Invade boys coming out real quick. Let's see who can grab this attack speed buff. Oh, a creeping curse early on. Shaggy's taking a lot of damage. That bludgeon's going to hit for a lot. This could be first blood. 2 more autos, and Trix Tank will secure this. But the heal, actually, Shaggy's able to tank it up.
And the minion wave is really doing work to them from the archers too. They're taking a lot of poke from that.
Bludgeon?
The bludgeon will connect. And Tristank will find the kill. Obviously, had a bit of a technical issue there. We got first blood, though. We're going to come back to us for a moment as we quickly sort out that sound issue you could tell we had there. Don't worry about it for the time being.
Bludgeon chunked so hard there. The most effective part of that ability is the fact that when you hit multiple... For every additional god you hit, you're going to be doing more damage on it. So the fact that a Milsey was there as well just increased the bludgeon damage.
At level 1, what can a Sylvanus do to stop a bludgeon going off? All he can do is root, and that's not going to be effective.
Nope.
He could potentially get him out of range, but that's it. Freya, not going to have the banish available. I love the call that came up from Paradigm, though, to not go for the buff. They could have taken the buff then.
Yes.
Instead, they chose the kill. They got the pick.
And the big thing, too, is that they shut down Freya, who her biggest weakness is that early landing phase. And we see a lot of teams try and get Freya's early kills or shut down the enemy hunter to get Freya that advantage. But for this game, the Freya falls, which puts her even further behind. And Anhur, who has penetration built into his kit.
And not just that as well, it did go over to Bellona. And Bellona in the support role got to hit level 5 a little bit quicker off that, which means you've got to keep an eye out for those Eagle Rally engages, which is what we've seen Trix Tank do multiple times when he's played this card.
Speaking of that, Trix Tank is one of the most hyper-aggressive supports. I mean, we're constantly see him rotating at even odd times. Level 3, he's rotating the mid lanes with Bacchus's finding kills. His Hercules is phenomenal as well. Trix Tank is not going to take this kill and sit in lane and farm. He is going to go and force fights.
So a good start for them at the moment. And now what we're going to see out of London Conspiracy, do you expect to see Fenrir, Soggy Sentinel have to come and babysit this line a little bit more? Because they're going to hit 5 quickly, because we're going to see, Shaggy Shank is going to fall behind in that lane quite considerably.
I don't think we're going to see him focus on that dual lane too much. I think Shaggy Shank's just going to sit there. He's going to be super defensive. I think they're going to ward up heavily. I don't think they have to worry about it too much. If Trix Tank elects to stay in that lane, yeah, we'll see Zashu there. But I think Trix Tank is going to be sitting in mid lane, and we're going to have to see Zashu respond by sitting in mid lane and helping out
Let's
Arrow.
see what happens. We'll take into account Anhur versus Freya is definitely a matchup in favor of Anhur as well.
By far.
Just as standard. The reason it's a good matchup for him is because when Freya uses the pulse in the lane to clear the wave out, he can impale her away and make her waste those auto attacks.
Trix Tank going to take a lot of damage from Emilzy there, but he's not too worried about it. Emilzy already under 30% life and 30% mana as well.
He should be okay though, because he's got mana potions. Wisps will keep him healed up. It's a great start for Paradigm. On top of that, Freya, if you take into account what happened there, she didn't get any experience in the wave because she was busy fighting, and she only got 2 of the small creeps at that purple buff, and the purple still standing, but luckily Soggy Sandal has made the right call to come all the way over and clear that buff for them.
Yep, they're going to grab it. Taking a look at the solo lane though. This Chang'e versus Isis. Isis, we don't really see her. We haven't seen her in the solo lane in a very long time, but mages have made their return there.
I want to feel that what happened there was going to be planned for Janus there. That's what I want to feel. And like
I believe so
came
too.
In, and Chang'e has a bit more of a difficult matchup against an Isis because of the wave clear. She's not in the wave as much as other gods would be.
And that's the thing too here. We can already see Chang'e just sitting under tower, not able to clear out this wave.
Well, Isis early push, you know,
yeah.
It's a lot stronger than
especially with
Janus.
that purple pot. Especially with that purple pot active.
So we're joining with the Churro lane again. You can see level 4 for both the boys of Paradigm at the moment, as Emilzy should hit level 4 soon as well. Shaggy Shank's done okay to catch up now that he did share that purple buff experience. And actually with that purple buff staying up, we should see Soggy Sandal hit 5 a little bit quicker too.
We should, and something to note here is that he's picked up this blink very early on. He actually had it at level 1 when he roamed out there, and that could catch a lot of players off guard. Normally, you would expect to see the blink come out after the first back, and that's when players are looking for it. But having it at level 1, you could really see a surprise come out.
Well, what he can do is he can blink, brutalize if he wants to, and then still unchained after them if they leap away, which most gods do have that ability to do, and then Ragnarok if required as well. Or just blink Ragnarok. There's a couple of options the Fenrir player can look to do with that blink.
For now, though, it looks like they're just going to stick to farming. And Paradigm, they've got that early lead with Trix Tank. And, you know, coming into these first mid-harpy, or the second mid-harpy spawns, I expect to see Trix trying to make a pretty big play here.
At the moment, you can see the duo lane, though, of Paradigm trying to keep the pressure on this lane and still continuing to apply as much as possible. Keep Freya and Emilzy pinned down as much as possible in this lane. Look at the zone and as much as they can do just to keep them off. And Trix will heal up to Scourge the moment you see the pulse pop from Shaggy if it's an opportunity to stop him from farming.
Mid-harpies are spawning, though, and Trix Tank, he's going to be rotating, going to walk right over a ward, and they're going to notice that Funballer's on that rotation as well, but they see him running back into lane.
And now we're just going to see the left harpies did fall, right ones will spawn soon. As you can see, Trix Tank swinging around again.
That's such a great ward. That ward is giving them so much information. Trix has been trying to bait Shaggy Shank forward for the past couple minutes, ever since he got first blood, and that ward is just spotting it out every single time.
Looks like we'll see a level advantage, more than a level advantage.
Yeah,
for
look at
Trix
that.
Tank
They're almost
now.
level 6.
Yeah, they should both hit level 6 soon. Talking about level 6, Cubo Fred is that, and Zayla level 7. And with the pressure going on right now, they're looking to steal away this blue buff. Zashu taking a bit of poke on this Chang'e.
Not a bit, a lot. Almost every single Wingus. I don't even know why he's still sitting here.
Is here though. There's the Ragnarok. They didn't see that one coming. Zalia's in trouble here under the tower as well. Waxing Moon was perfectly timed from Zashu, and that'll get him first blood.
That's going to be a first blood for their team. And Lobster rotating over as well, and that was just a little bit caught off guard. You know, I saw Soggy, Sandal, and Era. They were focusing on those mid camps. I thought they were just going to grab those and back off, but it just seemed that's one of the weaknesses here of this Isis is that if she gets out of position, she can get bursted. Yeah, she has great control in the lane, but that Fenrir is going to be able to abuse her with Ragnarok.
Well, Paradigm did not respect the rotation from the jungler there. They got punished a little bit. Luckily enough, though, it was the first blood for Lord of Conspiracy. As we said, it was Paradigm that got the first one. So a little less gold worthwhile for them as we see the junglers clean up those speed buffs.
Still no ultimate out of Cubo Fred, though. He's been focusing on farming. A little bit interesting. I'd like to see him put a lot of pressure, especially onto this Chang'e.
I mean, he invaded for the blue, and it worked out. Oh, well, it didn't work out okay because we saw Zalia die in the end. But they invaded for the blue, and that's why we're not seeing the real pressure. Because dual lane's doing okay at the moment. You can see they've left Funballer alone now, and Zalia trying to freeze this lane a little bit, deny a couple of creeps to Chang'e until she shows her face, and go back to farming again.
Back to farming here. Trix Tank going to be clearing out his attack speed buff. Zashu grabbing that red for Arrow on the top side of your map. And Trix Tank, Already getting some vision on the Gold Fury. I believe that's a Sentry Ward he countered right there. Going to grab 50 gold for himself, and there's the ult we were looking for.
They're looking for Freya. Can they find it? Shaggy Shank will get hit by that one. Not use the ultimate just yet. He's going to be worried, but there's a banish. There he ought to make sure he avoids the bludgeon damage. So ultimate for ultimate traded. Not a bad play from Paradigm.
Not a bad play, but Shaggy Shank, he's going to be forced out there, and he's already so far behind, just missing even missing half a wave is so critical for him right now.
And you can see why Emilzy didn't actually push the wave in the end there. He throws it so he doesn't lose too much.
Oh, bait boys. That was a great blink from Emilzy. He was definitely about to get turned on.
So he does blink away for the time being. Shaggy will come back to a minion wave and a half, hopefully, if everything goes well for him there. Once again, though, the boys of Paradigm, they're feeling themselves in the jungle right now. They're going to start the God Fury. His tricks is zoning them in the duo. Soggy Sandal has shown his face over in the right-hand lane here, and I think they saw that Agni are based as well. So Paradigm abused the map position of the team. Bellona Conspiracy taking early gold.
Yeah, they've got a 2K gold lead already at only 6 minutes. A fantastic play coming out from them. And Paradigm, they're looking very strong. They're looking very clean. They're not taking too many risks. Xaylia, ever since they tried, that was just kind of a misplay coming out from Xaylia there. Just too close to the tower, and a Soggy Sandal was able to drop him in there. But ever since then, Xaylia has just been stalemating this lane.
We did just miss, though, that Soggy Sandal did come over there, use Ragnarok in that lane, and beads were used by Xaylia. That's why he looked at half health under that tower that time round. So they tried to make a counter play over in the solo lane. Didn't pay off for them, but with the beads down, we could see Soggy Sandal try to come back around there again. At the moment, though, right harpies are going to be contested.
Lobster, he's going to get turned on. Beads forced immediately, and he's going to just portal out there safely. Cubo Fred taking a lot of poke from the Agni bombs as well. He's going to be forced out there, and we do see London Conspiracy secure these right camps. I just want to keep talking about the soul lane, though. Even with Xaylia dying, even with the pressure that Soggy Sandal's putting on him, he's still 800 gold ahead in this lane.
Well, some of that is down to the Gold Fury as well.
That's not that much at this point. That's only about 150, 200 gold.
But then on top of that, he is ISIS. His lane push is a lot stronger than a Chang'e in the early game. So he's going to be able to push into tower, deny some of that gold to the Chang'e.
Lobster rotating back to the mid lane. Tricks tank just helping clear it out in the meantime.
Build-wise, we can see coming out from Funballer there, he went for the Soul Eater build here. Going to go for the Warrior Tab into Soul Eater. As we've seen, Freya, on the other hand, though, has got one of her core items completed, the Fatalis. We'll be seeing choosing the Magi more than likely, followed by the Demonic Grip is the standard build you see on most Freyas.
Yeah, that attack speed really increasing Freya's power. Freya, her pulse is time-based. It's not I activate it and I get 10 shots. It's I activate it and this is up for 5 seconds. So the more attack speed you have, the more you can get out.
Is looking again. You can see him hovering around that Gold Fury with Tricks Tank there, looking to try and potentially gank that lane. But Soggy Sandal had an idea that something could be going on, swung around, saw the pressure, and it all comes to naught for the time. He's a purple buff. He's dropped a Funballer once more.
The game... You know, even though a Gold Fury was taken, there hasn't been too much action in this game, and this is very standard for a lot of European games.
I think this is just the meta at the moment, is that it's a very controlling game. You're just looking for small wins all the time. Because getting 2-3 kills early on, it doesn't win you the game. Like, to an extent, you could snowball off that. Nowadays, not so much.
It's really about getting players out of position, picking them off, and then taking the enemy's jungle from those advantages, and then really drawing these small leads into a big lead about 20 minutes in.
Zashu gone for the health
nice
option
dash.
With that Warlock Sash in that solo lane. Does have beads online, meanwhile Xaylia looks like he's working on a Warlock Sash of his own, so we're going to see some tanky mages, well at least healthy mages from that solo lane.
Yeah, having it completed early like Zashi does is very critical because there's 100 stacks on this item. It takes a long time to get going. Even in solo lane, you can expect 15-20 minutes in. That's when the big team fights start breaking out. To have it online, even if it's just 20-30 stacks early, it's very important.
Soggy hanging on this right-hand side jungle here. Can't decide whether he wants to try and pressure mid or the solo lane, but wards are everywhere, so they're spotting him at the moment, as you can see, walking backwards and forwards. Left-hand Harpies did go to Paradigm there as Lobster and Tricks Tank combined to pick him up.
Yeah, they're sitting right on a ward, though, and Soggy Sandal, he's just waiting for Lobster to come back in this lane, but Lobster knows something's up.
Kivo, though, on the right-hand side, he is looking towards Chang'e at the moment. I believe he's sat on a ward.
He's in the air.
Will they find the dunk?
Chang'e has no idea.
No, she does not. She's overextended. Going to get dunked as well. Beads is early. The Berserker Barrage is good. Waxing Moon only hit onto Xaylia, and Cubo will find the second kill for his team.
Yeah, that's something you always have to be wary of, especially in the solo lane against a Thor. We need to see some wards or some form of vision come out from London Conspiracy at that Fire Giant pit. That is where you typically are going to see Thors take to the sky. It's a good spot, and normally you don't want to ward. Oh, They did have a... Did they just place that?
I'm not sure if that ward just got placed.
I'm assuming it just got placed.
I thought there was one there, but hey, we'll find out as time goes on. We're looking at it. We're trying to actually see the HP bar. That's why we're zooming in on it there. Because normally it tells you how long it's got left to run, but we can't see it from this angle for the time being. As we go back to the mid lane action, those right harpies did go to Conspiracy once more.
Gold Fury going to be spawning here in about 40 more seconds, and you can already see the team starting to clear the map. No jungle left here. Thor, though, like you said, stealing away those back harpies in the upper right-hand corner. Cuvo taking his lead and abusing it onto London Conspiracy, who were so heavily focused on that left side of the map right there.
I do like what Trixtank's done here. He realizes there's 4 magical on the enemy team, so he's gone for the magical defense early. That Heart Ward Amulet is what he's probably going to be building into. The aura gives physical protections, but it does give himself plenty of magical to stay on that front line and be that big focal point that he's going to be for the team with the Eagles rally.
Yeah, that's a great pickup coming out from him. Funballer trying to steal away this attack speed buff, though, and like we said, Gold Fury, it's about to spawn. Teams know it. And Milzy getting a little bit caught out. Zalia has even rotated to this lane, and Zashu still was sitting over in that right-hand side, already coming to a cross.
Well, they managed to get the tower down in that right-hand lane, so Zalia's free to come over here and start the Gold Fury up. Zashu has now rotated to mid, but the boys of Conspiracy, they're going to have to contest him. Trixtank is on zoning duty right now. He's not going to be able to stop.
They're looking to fight. Cubo's in the air. He's going to look for someone. Zayla taking a ton of damage. Cubo's going to come down. Funballer will take out Emilzy in the back line. Soggy Sandal, though, diving a little bit too deep. Chang'e just trying to keep his team alive.
Oh, the double tap from Cubo. Max range takes out Soggy. Zashu surrounded by 4. Shaggy trying to do what he can to bring down Cubo, but he's in trouble now. Chuki to the best of his ability. Funballer wants him, though. Good impale into the wall after the leap. An arrow. Well, the last man standing. Can he get out?
Stun coming out from Cubo here any second. Doesn't even need it. It's going to be the hammer tap to finish it off.
Clean deicide for them for the most part. They did lose Zalia, but trading Zalia out for a Gold Fury and the whole enemy team, they won't be too upset by that one. Great position for Paradigm early on, and this is something we saw from them last season, where they were falling behind at these early Gold Furies. Now, they're the ones in control of them.
Yeah, and that was an important look for them too. They baited the Gold Fury completely. They didn't want to try and do it. They didn't want to risk it. The second that we saw London Conspiracy group up, Trixtank dove into the back line. And while they did lose Zalia, they still managed to pick up 4 in response.
6,500 experience, 6,000 gold lead already at 12.5 minutes, well, 13 minutes in the game, we should be saying. Paradigm have set themselves up into a dominant position now because no one on London Conspiracy, to be fair, I was going to say, I think Soggy Sandal's the one that's looking the best so far for me for this game. The rest, though, kind of having problems. Freya behind early. Zashu traded evenly, I guess, early game, but lost that tower, which is where it's really hurt.
Yeah, and he's definitely, it's going to be rough for him, right? This matchup is obviously something that Zalia wanted to go into. You talked about it earlier. It was most likely going to be the Janus in this lane, but Zalia's done a good job of taking this Isis, which is something he probably wasn't going to pick into this to begin with, and abusing Zashu.
I mean, I say that, but hopefully we can find out from the Paradigm players whether the plan was to play Isis originally, or it was to throw the Janus there, because they picked them both before they found out Chang'e was going. Maybe they planned for Isis. I've seen Zalia do things like Scylla solo before, so it wouldn't surprise me. He's just realized that Isis is very good in the solo lane.
Thor on the ward this time.
Both on the ward
and
right
that
now.
okay, so I did notice it, by the way. That is a Zashu ward, so that was there beforehand.
So they do know. He did know, and he just didn't have the map awareness at the time. They're looking for the potential bait onto the blue buff, but the boys of London Conspiracy, obviously because of that ward, know it's available. Look where Trixtank and Lobster is right now. They're there for support in case somebody tries to rotate to support it. The blue buff does go to Paradigm.
And Paradigm, they're being so aggressive, just trying to find anyone on London Conspiracy out of position. Milzy has even rotated over here as well. Just, I really think London Conspiracy wants to fight, but I think they want to bait Cubo Fred into a bad spot.
Here. The dash is down from Aero. Will Trix go in? The wall does connect, so does the bludgeon as well. Beats used by Aero. Ragnarok pop by Soggy Sandal.
He can't find it.
He's going to manage to get him now, and he's in a bit of trouble. He's still got Eagles Rally, so quick disengage, and it comes to naught.
Yeah, Zashu rotating over meant that Trixtank really couldn't take that fight with Zalia still on his way coming through. Cubo Fred, though, great wall. That's actually going to knock him away from everything, and Milzy, he's going to die here.
He may, but Soggy Sandal's going to come with the Unchained to help out through space and time. Will fire off. Cubo gets out
the
of trouble.
Body blocks.
But Milzy does fall to double kill of Lobster now. And Aero and Zashu, well, they're here, but they can't do much. Waxing Moon is still available.
Gonna juke that Spirit Ball real quick there, and Paradigm once again finding 2 picks, and that actually looked like it could have been a fight that London Conspiracy could turn. You know, Emilzy did a fantastic job of staying alive for so long, juking through many players.
No, he got greedy for that ward, in my opinion.
He got greedy for the ward. He got caught out. Don't get me wrong. Emilzy got caught out, but he did a good job of getting caught out. Well,
he did a good job of getting caught out.
Of juking after he got caught out.
I mean, the thing is, well, Wrath of Terror, it went off, but Cuvo was Berserker Barrage, and you don't get knocked up if you're in Berserker Barrage as Thor. That's why the full damage went through, and Emilzy found himself in hot and bother. Good work from London Conspiracy to try and close in, but double kill for Lobster, and like you can see, it's 2 kills for Funballer, 2 kills for Trix, 2 kills for Lobster, 3 for Cuvo, and then Zalia's just being the support boy today.
What a feeder. Zalia's the feeder.
Terrible. Back to mid lane we go though, Lobster with Trixang once again, just going to put the pressure onto Aero, force him back under the tower as you expect. And Trix making good work with his Bellona support, which is the first time we've seen it during the split so far.
Yeah, he's the 3rd highest damage right now in the game. Cubo's in the air though, he's looking for the left-hand side, he's going to come crashing down on Shaggy. Shaggy, Valkyrie's discretion is up, but he doesn't even get it off, trying to get the whoop through. Shaggy Shank falls to a gank by Cuvo.
Either way, if he would have got the whoop off, if he would have gone to the sky, which people may be thinking at home if he ultimated there, he would have got a little bit of distance, but Funballer could have just jumped in.
He would have died.
Desert Fury.
He had to get the whoop if he wanted to have any chance of staying alive.
Well, he does fall down Aero trying to clear out the wave. Nicely use of the dash, though, to avoid the portal, because most people would have gone straight back. Through space and time, going to connect to Soggy Sandal, comes in looking for Trixang, but the pull pulls him away from Emilzy. Soggy Sandal, the dog can't find anything, and it falls to nothing.
Little bit of miscommunication there. Emilzy pulling a double tap though, going to give a lot of damage to Soggy Sandal. Chang'e are going to be able to heal up a little bit of it. But meanwhile, this entire time, Funballer has been split pushing. He grabs the tier 1 on left for free.
Yeah, Cuvo was there to support as well. Zashu's still not been able to put much pressure down on this solo lane. So there's 2 towers down now for the side of London Conspiracy. The mid tower going to fall soon. Blinking from Emilzy though. Going to find the Wrath of Terror on Trix. Into the pull stun combo. Zashu there.
This is a lot on the Trix though.
They'll find him though. They will get the kill.
The question is, can Paradigm actually find a return? Funballer rotating in from the top here. May knock Zashu into the tower. No, he holds it for a little bit.
Impaled though onto Zashu, and now the stun from Aero will keep 2 out. Spirit Ball doesn't connect. Soggy Sandal comes in for Funballer though, but he eats a lot of poke there and gets forced back as Cubo crashes into 3.
Great Waxing Moon though, gonna stun out a couple players. Zalia, he pops the circle protection. No one's gonna be inside it though. Shaggy Shank, he's already come back. He is able to find Lobster with that ultimate, and it looks like London Conspiracy wants to keep up the chase. Whoop is available. He's gonna knock up Cuvo.
Beads are great from Cuvo to avoid the pull. He re-engages with the wall and the Spirit Ball, but all Paradigm are trying to do is just hold off the pressure of the 5-man army of Conspiracy. 2 people down for them, but luckily the Gold Fury has only just spawned. Will Conspiracy look for this? Well, they're a little bit low on mana there, so we may see them
It's a little bit too risky. Funballer trying to find Aero there with the pillar, trying to stop his back, not able to do it though. Shaggy Shane coming off that death, able to come in and pick up a nice return kill for London Conspiracy, helping to give them that fight, right? They were able to find the pick on Trix, and they were able to take out Lobster as well.
Cuvo having a very good game, 4-0-5 right now. It's level 17, full beads, which we sure used to keep himself alive, because after that banish, expects him to fall to the pull, but way ahead of the game, he knew that the pull was coming from Emilzy and beads it immediately.
Damage, boys. Cuvo Fred, he's up in the air. He's going to look for Shaggy Shank for the 3rd time this game. There's no tower for Shaggy to go to. Double tap's going to connect. Berserker's Barrage, and there's no ultimate. Shaggy used it in mid lane, and he's going to fall again to Cuvo Fred's ganks.
Cuvo is just playing this. Cuvo's just having an amazing game right now. Like, he's juked out the banish twice. He knows the banish is coming, and he knew where to position himself, where Shaggy would more than likely use that banish. It is, to an extent, it's a decent range of the banish, of like the area, but Cuvo's just positioned himself every time crisply, and his combo, fantastic.
Paradigm are trying to go for the Gold Fury. You can already see Zalia rotating over. Cuvo Fred, Lobster, and Funballer starting it up, and Trix Tank, he's on zone duty. Zalia actually going to take a huge amount of bombs, and Aero focused a lot into that. I don't think they're going to be able to fight this Gold Fury now that he wasted all those.
Funballer will help bring this one down with the support of Trix Tank.
They're just going to give it up.
Another Gold Fury falls. Let's go to the graphs, and we should see about a 9,000 gold lead now in favor as a big rotation to mid. Ooh, that was a mistake.
Yeah, and now we actually see Paradigm going in very far. Soggy Sandal, he's going to bring Funballer under the tower, and he will die. Waxing Moon, it's going to lock down Zalia. Zalia getting low, but he still has circle protection. It's going to pop. Trix Tank finds Soggy Sandal with the bludgeon, and it's a 1-for-1.
1-for-1 as the Spirit Ball connects onto Emilzy. London Conspiracy trying to power forward here with the sustain from Chang'e and Sylvanus as well, but the minion wave will slow things down a moment after losing Soggy. There's only Magical to try and bring down this tower.
Cuvo Fred looked like he wanted to back in, and now London Conspiracy, they're definitely looking to try and take this tower.
Will he come crashing down? He will. Looking for Aero. Going to find him in the path of flames. The beads were forced. Cubo takes a lot of poke.
Cubo standing
but
strong.
So does Aero.
Yeah, Cubo Fred, he's going to hit that double tap. Arrow will fall. Trixtank, he had his ultimate that whole time. And now they're turning onto a Milsey, the bludgeon. But Trixtank is using it to get out. Valkyrie's discretion. One more hit. Zalia falls.
Shaggy hit all four there. Now Zashu pressuring Lobster away once more in this wave. The fight is backwards and forwards, but it's not enough to give Conspiracy any sort of edge in this game.
No, but they keep finding important picks, and you know, it's not a huge swing back, but they are gaining a little bit of ground. And that healing coming out from Sylvanus and just the self-heal from Shaggy, it's keeping them alive. It's keeping them, these extended engagements are working in London Conspiracy's favor because of it.
They are, but they're losing and hemorrhaging towers and gold furies across the map. They've got to be careful about how much gold they give and lead to Paradigm, because at the moment, the fights are good, but they're just too far behind in terms of gold to continue this on.
Cubo Fred here. Looks like he just wanted a little bit of farm, just trying to defend this right-hand tower. I was trying to mention it earlier, but I didn't get a chance. We have a double stacking build actually coming out from Zalia, and Zalia is sitting at 0, 3, and 6. It almost feels like he needs to tank up, but he's still electing to go this hyper damage build on an Isis solo lane.
He's nearly finished off that Spear of the Magus as well. We can see in the mid lane Lobster has gone Book of Tough. We'll see if he goes just straight for damage in terms of Obsidian Shard, because you generally don't see two Spears in the same game from the same team.
Paradigm, they're pressuring this tower. Arrow and Emilzy trying to defend it, but
Almost gonna get there.
It's way too low.
Right hand side though, Cubo was trying to seal away the blue buff, not going to find the kill unfortunately onto the buff, and the boys of London Conspiracy back away knowing that Lobster could be in the area with that ultimate.
What Cubo Fred's doing right now is he's trying to find players out of position. He doesn't want to full commit to them, but he just wants to stun them, throw out his hammer, hit double taps. He's just trying to poke players down, either force London Conspiracy back, or when they do want to fight, then London Conspiracy is going to be too weak to really counter-engage.
Now, one thing we didn't really speak about is Trixtank's build here. He started off with the Heartward Amulet just for the magical defense, but then went heavy hammer in the support role. So him on the front line, he's just going to consistently slow and reduce attack speed, which is very effective against Freya.
I mean, right now, Trixtank is basically a warrior. They're not really running with the support at this point. They're running with another warrior solo, and it's just Isis for more damage. They have a ton of burst, but they don't have a lot of frontline. They don't have a lot of protect. Trixtank has been zoning out, which means it's been up to Zalia and Cubo Fred to really try and control the team, control Soggy Sandal when he dives into the back line.
Cubo's done a really good job of that at 6-0-6, level 19. The first level 20 has been reached though for Lobster in the mid lane as Trix. They're hanging around the fire giant here trying to bait people in. Funballer going to clear out a ward there as he did put down that pillar just to give himself a moment of opportunity.
Paradigm, they started up the fire giant here, and
why not?
Once again, I don't think they want to full commit. They just want to bait London Conspiracy into a fight. Cubo Fred, you can see hitting a double tap on Arrow in the back line. They're just trying to poke him out.
Cubo's on in left, Trix zoning right at the moment. Berserk Barrage knocks Arrow down.
Arrow's already under
HP.
half.
The fire giant is getting lower as Trixtank has to let people come in. Soggy Sandal looking
great ultimate
great
coming
play
out
from the team. Shaggy though did find Cubo in the jungle, who overstayed his welcome. The fire giant does regenerate to full, but Arrow very low on HP through space and time.
It's going to hit Arrow. No, it just misses Arrow, but it looks like Paradigm, they want to fight. Trixtank comes through, but the rest of the team doesn't. Trixtank, he's diving so deep, but he's so low. He's trying to get away. One more hit. Valkyrie's discretion, not going to secure it. Zashu falls to Lobster. Shaggy Shank should take out Trix over in the corner, but it looks like a fight. Another 1-for-1 coming out.
It's not so bad for the side of London Conspiracy there, but the fire giant is still an opportunity. They're a little bit low on HP though. Our Paradigm and deleting Cubo Fred is really important for them. Honestly, they should have got a good gold spit for that one, and it went to Shaggy Shank too.
Yeah, and I was going to talk about that too. Shaggy Shank, while he got ganked heavily in his lane, he's done a fantastic job. All these team fights, he's the one constantly picking up kills, and that's who you want. You want your Freya to have kills, especially after she's been shut down so early on.
Still 10,000 experience and 8,000 gold in favor of her Paradigm here. Zalia sticking around at half HP just to make sure the boys of London Conspiracy do not attempt to do the fire giant while his team were backing. And they were very lucky on Arrow as well. Arrow survived the through space and time ultimate, just juked out. And Trixtank, like you said, he went very deep looking for that kill and just wasn't able to find it.
I'm not sure what the call was, but Trixtank was obviously calling for a fight. He went through the portal, no one else did.
And he was
no one else did.
I mean, to be fair, the boys of London Conspiracy played it better more than anything else. The Raphael was perfect. They slowed them all down. Arrow managed to reposition and then realized he could get damage out to stop Trixtank coming for him.
Paradigm, though, doesn't look like they want to look at the Fire Giant anytime soon. Funballer just going to be soloing out this Gold Fury. Shaggy Shank could go to check it. I mean, they don't have vision on it. London Conspiracy has to know that something's going on over here.
Something is going on. The Gold Fury, as you said, is being taken by Funballer again. And this is one of the benefits of using this Soul Eater build as well. It's like the old days. They can just sustain through the extra HP, make them tanky enough to be able to deal with it.
Too much lifesteal.
And Anhur, one of the best for that sort of game too.
Yeah, his pillar, increasing the damage he does on Gold Fury as well as the penetration. Paradigm, they're gonna counter ward out that Fire Giant. Right now, they're just jockeying for position. They obviously know that Paradigm doesn't want to split up because the last couple times they've split up, London Conspiracy has been able to find picks. I think the next engagement we're going to see a full 5-on-5.
Trixang going to go back to base, see what he's going to finish off purchasing. He has been working on Shell here as well. And there it is, full Shell of Absorption completed for him. Looks like Spirit Robe is also being worked on for him. Lobster in the mid lane did go for Spear as well, so double Spear from the side of Paradigm. It will increase each other's damage as well. So Xaylia and Lobster, keep an eye out for their combination of skills because it will help them out in stacking.
Paradigm pushed up on the Fire Giant. Most of the players level 20 across the board. Trixtank obviously not, and Funballer only level 19. London Conspiracy though, they can only go up, right? I mean, Paradigm's not getting stronger when it comes to level. They're just looking for gold at this point, and the gold lead isn't something that's out of this world right now.
It's getting towards a level advantage for some of a whole item advantage for some of them. Titan's Bane now finished for Cuvo as well. As the Fire Giant gets started again, Trixtank once more on zoning duty. Cuvo.
This is the same story as last time.
Yep, Cuvo's zoning out the left-hand side, but this time he's playing it safer with the wall. The Fire Giant dropping slowly as Trixtank, well, he's going to have to let people come through. Soggy blinks over the wall to get in range again, and he gets impaled away just as he jumped in. Funballer does leap away. They're really looking for somebody. They're going to find Xaylia.
Xaylia has Aegis available though here, and there it's going to be used, but he's pulled back right after that. Xaylia is going to fall. One more hit from Soggy Sandal should finish it. Brutalize does finish that off. That's a great pick for London Conspiracy. Soggy Sandal, he's still going deep, not able to pick up Lobster though. Lobster just barely getting through his portal in time.
Cuvo did just disconnect, I think, as well, so we're going to go to a quick pause there. So that's one of the reasons that fight kind of changed dramatically, but it was well played by London Conspiracy more than anything else.
Yeah, and you saw that, right? Once again, Paradigm was split up. Cuvo Fred was on the left side. I don't know when he DC'd in that fight, but there was another player there as well. Then they caught Funballer and Xaylia alone. And you saw Arrow and Emilzy and Zashu just dive so far looking for him, and they were able to pick up Xaylia off a great pull from Emilzy.
A call from London Conspiracy after that great engage, looking for the Fire Giant. Trixtank is in the area. The boys of Paradigm
Thor has
on the way.
ult.
Will they get there in time?
It's in the air.
Mixed on the wall. The double tap. Paradigm get it. I'm not sure. Maybe through space and time. Picked it up as Cuvo takes to the sky. Trixtank taking a lot of poke on the front line, but he's quite heavily survivable.
Cuvo though.
Cuvo goes in deep.
Yeah, Cuvo landed into the team fight. London Conspiracy though, they have some heals. They're able to sustain up, and I think they're going to play this safe. I don't think they want to chase. Towers are still available. They're going to take their Fire Giant. They're going to back. They're going to spin their gold, and then they're going to push these lanes up. They're going to return some of the towers that they have lost already.
Either through space and time. I believe it was that got the Fire Giant then, or it could have been the double tap from Thor that picked that up for them. It was really nicely played from them. They were up against it. London Conspiracy tried to use the advantage they had of the fact they had to base, but Paradigm, well, they had an answer.
Paradigm here with their Fire Giant now. They're going to clear out their own jungle. They're going to probably look to push up some of these towers. Left-hand side, it looks like they want, but Funballer's actually going to be backing. Must have a good amount of gold in hand. Trying to finish up something, and it looks like it'll be Rage completed for Funball.
Just to see what Lobster's going to go into here as well. He had 1,700 gold there. Looks like he's going to start working on that Rodder Tahuti more than likely, but did also make sure he continued to work and finish off. What else did he pick up there? He's kept 1,000 his inventory. So yeah, he's working for that Rodder Tahuti now because it's 1,300 for the tier 2.
Paradigm grouping up on this left side. This is what they're aiming for right now. Some big items just completed for London Conspiracy, though. They are going to be able to defend this pretty effectively. Book of Thoth finished, and something that we talk about a lot, but it's good to remind players, is that Book of Thoth, most of the damage is up front. The stacks don't give that much power. It's all about the raw power you get at the front of it.
Now, what would you do as Paradigm here? Do you want to push up all the lanes individually here and split them up?
I think you do. I think you want to push up all the waves and then focus on mid and then this left side, the side away from the Fire Giant.
Because every single time Conspiracy have 5v5 fought, Conspiracy have done really well and almost come out on top in most of those engagements.
Yeah, and you could already see it, right? Look at the right-hand side. Zashu forced to defend that right side. Didn't know if they were going to split push. They're going to get the left side uncontested. But I really don't think London Conspiracy wants to fight under these towers anyway. They're definitely looking for Phoenix defense more than anything and to waste time on Paradigm's Fire Giant.
With that rotation, they will find a red buff as well in the jungle and steal that one away from Conspiracy. Rotate to mid lane as a 5-man unit. Conspiracy will not defend this base in their position. In Zero still back in base for the time being.
Take right tower, take gold.
And they're going to go
back.
straight to right.
Take right tower, take gold, back. That's the safe thing. And as long as London Conspiracy doesn't get out of position, I think Paradigm's just going to play the safe way. They definitely don't want to risk losing another fight and then potentially losing a Gold Fury. Luckily, they were able to steal it away, but it may not happen that way again.
Potential look at a bait there. They were just hanging around, trying to choose what they're going to do. It looks like you might be right with that Gold Fury call. Now, let's just go to the charts before they head over there and see. We're at 14,000, just under 15,000 gold advantage for the boys of Paradigm. Now, that is a huge chunk of change to be up against.
Yeah, and I mean, they've just gained a hefty amount of that just from those 3 towers, and then... No, they want to bait, it looks like. Or they want to fight. So they're not going to play it safe. They're definitely going to use their Fire Giant to try and take this Phoenix. And that's actually not a bad call, right? They only have 50 seconds left on it. They want to get this Fire minion pressure.
Well, we're following with Emelzi at the moment because he'll probably be the engage for Conspiracy.
Lobster's looking for a big through space and time here.
As always, good route, good pull onto Cuvo. Not going to find the pull, actually. The wall was good enough for the time being to keep him alive. And now we're going to hold off for the next minion wave coming in because you're not going to see Paradigm want to tank this up if they can help it. Trix might be the one to put his foot in range if he needs to so they can go in. There we go, but watch out for Emelzi.
Double tap coming through. They're just trying to poke him out. Spirit Ball's thrown too, but Emilzi going to blink forward, hit 3 with Wrath of Terror. Soggy Sandal jumps in a well, but it doesn't look like London Conspiracy wants to commit too hard.
Space and time hit Shaggy Shank and he ulted defensively, but Thor's in the air ready to dunk down as he landed. Shaggy Shank got ages to buy himself a second. Shaggy still survives. The Phoenix is still falling though as Trix tanking it up. The heal from Circle of Protection is good from Zalia to make sure they also stay sustained well enough. And the Phoenix falls and everybody lives.
Yeah, London Conspiracy did a good job of avoiding those games. Shaggy Shank most notably there. He was as good as dead, but a fantastic Aegis, and then Emilzi doing a good job of locking him in place. Arrow, he's trying to find Funballer. He does get the stun. Funballer has no jump. Soggy Sandal's going to go real deep on this. Tricks over the wall, though. Gonna stun out Sandal. Funballer, he might get away. Zashu, does he have ult? No, it's not available.
Such a nice play from Trixank there to jump over the wall. Lobster gave him a portal too, but Funballer in the spur of the moment did not see the availability of it.
He's spamming jump at that point.
Of course he's like, get me out, but manages to survive. Good work from Paradigm again. They will pick up that Gold Fury we spoke about earlier. Now that they've got the opportunity to, they did get the fight Phoenix. Now they can set up once more for the next Fire Giant.
Yeah, a lot of gold in hand too. Oh no, Cubo's in the air. Oh, Shaggy!
Shaggy a little bit too overextended. Wall doesn't connect, neither does the jump. They're just going to spin on his face for the time being. The team closing him.
He's wasting a lot of time.
He's trying.
Bloody Conspiracy, I believe, should almost go to. Oh man,
he's only just spawned.
I think Conspiracy should have went to Fire Giant there.
Well, now Paradigm can go back to base, and they're going to be able to start the Fire Giant up when they get back here against a 4-man team. As Shaggy's going to be down for another 50 seconds now.
Shaggy will, and that's a lot of their late game damage. I mean, Shaggy Shank has been playing phenomenally after getting shut down so early. They still do have Arrow though, who does have Rod of Tahuti online for this fight. He did not have it online for the last couple fights.
It's just so much magical damage on the side as well, so pushing down towers isn't that easy, honestly, is it?
No,
you're relying on
not at
Freya, and Freya, yeah, she can do some tower damage, but not to the extent of a physical.
They're not going to be able to push into towers or Phoenixes. They're just going to have to full wipe Paradigm if they want to start inching a lead in their direction.
Well, they've had opportunities to get the advantage, but at the moment it's all Paradigm for now. Fire Giant has begun. The team of Conspiracy hanging around at their mid-Phoenix at the moment. It doesn't look like they're going to contest this from the top, Kevin, and it looks like we might see Paradigm be able to start pushing for a Phoenix against it.
Yeah, I don't mind this call. London Conspiracy, they were able to fight Paradigm last time without Fire Giant, or when they had Fire Giant. Shaggy Shank was down as well. They don't want to get baited because if they lose a member trying to defend Fire Giant, they're almost guaranteed to lose a Phoenix. So take the 5-on-5 fight. I would have liked to see them push up this left lane very heavily when Paradigm was on FG, but they elected not to. So they will have that Fire minion pressure still there.
Conspiracy probably going to have to make their last stand at the next.
Look at
Phoenix.
They're giving all this farm to Shaggy too.
Trying to give him as big as possible.
They want to get him. They want to get that rod online. Look at it.
How much is he short of the rod at the moment? Let's just check him with gold in hand.
Nowhere close.
Nowhere close.
Not even
remotely. 1420 is what he needs, and he's at 200 right now. So he's got another 1200 to go. Can he get it before the boys of Paradigm barrel down this middle lane? Because that looks like where they're going to go. And Conspiracy, they have to make a good defense again. To be fair, that defense wasn't bad.
No.
But they still lost to Phoenix.
Paradigm here. They're just clearing out the jungle. They're pushing up. this mid lane. They're letting the Fire Minions push up right lane. I would again like to see them split this up and force London Conspiracy to choose which Phoenix they want to defend, and that's what they're going to do. You see Cubo and Trix, they're heading over to right lane. Cubo, he's even going to hammer in. He's going to clear out this wave. They want to get pressure on both sides. They're not clearing out this towers this time, which means they have a full 2 minutes on this Fire Giant. They have time to play with. They don't have to force the issue.
Time to play with is in the advantage of Paradigm, not Conspiracy right now, as the left-hand Phoenix is being pressured again by those Fire Minions. Trix going very deep in here, tanking this one up. Gonna get aggro for his team as Funballers trying to work down the Phoenix slowly but surely. Will get banished. The pull could be available.
Oh,
no.
Just a missed time.
This time because banish extends the higher level you get, and Millsy wasn't aware for that one.
Yeah, Cubo Fred, he's pushed up that right Phoenix as well, and this is what they're doing perfectly. They're playing time. Funballer is not. Ooh, Heavenly popped her. They looking to engage. Trix is going deep. Zashu, he's caught out in between the pillar and the wall. He could fall here.
Does it for you? Would not connect. The dunk down from Cubo. That might find
Cubo's
Zashu,
going deep.
but Cubo does not find it. The Phoenix still has through space and time. Fired off. Does not connect with anyone.
That's a lot wasted
Right
from
side,
Paradigm.
though.
That's a lot wasted
fall.
from Paradigm. Cubo Fred taking up that Phoenix. He's going to have to dash out. Trixie coming with a huge ult. Soggy Sandal forced to beat. Emilzy, Wrath of Terror in response. Actually pulls the Aelia back under the tower. Shaggy Shank, he's going to get disarmed. He's trying to do damage, but it looks like Paradigm, no one's falling on either side.
No one's falling. I'll tell a lie, because Zashu just went down to the Wind Gust of Zalia. All three Phoenixes are down. Paradigm have Fire Minions pouring in the left-hand side. Will they look to end now, or will they reset? Fumble feeling himself, has to back away though. As Aero gets very low, has to path the flames away. Fire Minions starting to beat down this Titan.
Yeah, no ult available on either side. Shaggy Shank actually the only one left available. There's the Whoop. The Titan, it's already at 400 health. It doesn't even matter. Just too much pressure from all three lanes. Not enough damage on London Conspiracy, I think, was really the big problem. Not enough burst to shut someone down.
I mean, they had damage, but it was all magical, really. I mean, Soggy Sandal, he was the only physical on the team. It didn't feel like he ever really got... I mean, to be fair, he didn't play bad in the early mid-game, but he didn't find the pressure that he needed
I mean, Fenrir's damage is all on his abilities, which... while powerful early, don't always translate to the late game. That's why you see him start to build defensive, start to build the spirit robes, stack some health, some magical defense, and really just be that I'm going to auto attack 5 times, and I'm going to jump on multiple people and stun them because my damage just isn't that high.
I mean, the start of the game, we saw Paradigm take the early lead with the invade early on from Trix, Tank, and Funballer as well. Across the way, though, Soggy did get that gank off on Zalia with the help of Zashu. Here's the first blood on your screen right now. As you can see, this was just at the stage of the invade.
And this was just a rough look for London Conspiracy at the start of the game. They did a nice job of fighting back from this. I mean, Shaggy Shank, the only real reason we saw him start to come online is because he was the one getting the kills for London Conspiracy in the team fights.
That first blood as well, you could see the communication by the Paradigm boys because Trix was clearly sat there saying, listen guys, I've got Bludgeon up again in a second, back off Fumbler, don't die for this one, I'll pick it up with the Bludgeon. Let him pick it up. Who was player of the game, Kevin?
I'm not sure.
You don't know?
Cubo, probably.
Definitely Cubo. Cubo Fred, top of the charts there with his FP points. Well, 7, 1, and 7. And you can see he kept putting the pressure on the map, and here's one of his plays right now.
Yeah, this was that Fire Giant bait that we saw them, and he dove in deeper a hill. I believe he hit 3. No, it was only 2, but just constantly shutting down players that they didn't want to deal with. And we saw him, his prime target every fight was very clearly Shaggy Shank.
Well, his walls,
very clearly.
His walls for me were more impressive than his ultimates, honestly, overall. His walls were perfectly placed. They managed to catch him.
And he stays in this fight, too. Just in case his stun is needed. And it ends up not being. He actually steals the kill with his hammer. But he stays in this fight. He understands the damage that LC can put out. And he just remains there and finds an extra kill.
And that's one of the things of Paradigm. When Cubo goes off, they really explode sometimes. They don't have to rely on just Zalia to really carry them through. They do have other members of the team that can really bring it to the forefront. And there's the play that we saw into Shaggy Shank where he just continued to try and pressure her time and time again.
And, you know, as a whole, Paradigm, very good. London Conspiracy was really just trying to fight back the entire game. And they did a good job of it, to be fair.
Let's have a look at the Alpha Draft splash lines for the top 5 players that game. It does look like it was, though, all Paradigm.
No LC able to sneak on there.
And to be fair, Conspiracy last season did fall to Paradigm. Paradigm went for the same strategy with bans, same 2 bans, Ares, Ymir, and then we saw Emilzy.
It's the shutdown of Emilzy, right? And I'd say it's almost shut down the duo lane was Paradigm's goal, and they did a phenomenal job of it.
Well, that's the slash line for that one. The boys of Paradigm looking very good, ready for game 2 shortly. What do we